for 4 years as an adjunct professor for global studies up until this recent school year. He had been removed because people raised all kinds of noise about what his past was. But this is a convicted murderer, a terrorist. He participated in a robbery during which a bank customer was murdered. Myrna Opsal bled to death on the floor of the bank. She was a 42-year-old mother of 4. Kilgore and his Sudanese Liberation Army and the comrades robbed the bank and another one to finance guerrilla warfare in support of the communist revolution. They also kidnapped the newspaper heiress Patty Hearst, who joined them. Why would you want to hire a murderer to begin with? I mean, are we that lacking? Are we that lacking in professorial talent in this country that we've got to go to terrorists and murderers? If my kid was going to school and this person was brought in to teach, my kid would be transferring. And since I'd be paying the bills for it, he would be transferring. This is absolutely insane. I can't even fathom what's happening to this country. Texas Governor Rick Perry was speaking. Now, we'll do that when we come back. We'll do that when we come back from the break. We got a lot more stuff coming up, folks. Please stay with us.
KCAA. Tom O'Halloran has a not-so-common core spelling lesson for the Obama administration. Ready? There is no K in America.
There's kids that can't pray in school, $100 tanks of gas. I can tell you right now, this country ain't supposed to be like that. No, that ain't my America. That ain't this country's roots. You wanna slam, hold on to Sam, but I ain't letting you. Yeah, I'm mad as hell, and you know I still bleed red, white, and blue. They ain't us, and that ain't my America. Oh no, that ain't my America. No, 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 no. That ain't my America.
And welcome back. This is the fastest hour on radio. This is the Tuesday night edition of the Patriot-Radio Show. And I am your host, Tom O'Halloran. Just before going to the break, we were talking about what's happening in our colleges. I've got another story out of Arizona this time. The University of Arizona. Musa Al-Ghabari. Well, gee, there's the problem right there. We've got a Muslim professor. This guy is an instructor and affiliate to the Southwest Initiative for the Study of Middle East Conflicts. And he claims that the American soldiers are anti-Muslim rapists who pose a greater threat to world peace than ISIS. How does this scumbag get a job if he hates America that much? Why is he taking in taxpayer dollars for his salary? Why isn't this scumbag deported and dropped from about 50,000 feet into the cave where he came from? You'll get more of this talk when you tune in to my show, Jihad on America, on Friday nights, folks. I can't not talk about them when the Muslims are doing this stuff in our schools. They're destroying our education system. It's the oil money that is making the Arabs rich, and they're dumping that oil money into our schools. If a school is offered $50 million to to open up a Middle East Studies Center, the schools will take it almost every time. And it's a shame because they're indoctrinating our kids. This says the U.S. military is infiltrated by white supremacists, neo-Nazis, and other hate groups. This guy is a piece of fecal matter that needs to be scraped off the ground. God, this stuff just irritates me. And what is the net result when you get these types of professors teaching our kids? What is the net outcome? A sitting governor, Governor Rick Perry, the longest sitting governor in the state of Texas. Rick Perry is giving a presentation at Dartmouth, Ivy League school. You think, okay, this is not Chicago. This isn't Obama's backyard. This ought to be respectful. He's giving a presentation, and when it comes time for Q&A, he's asked questions by the students. Questions like, would you receive anal sex for a $100 million contribution? A whole series of questions like that. Totally disrespectful of the office, disrespectful of the man, and disrespectful of the university that you are attending. And it's shameful that they're allowed to go back to class. Yes, you've got a First Amendment right to say what you want. But by God, if I was a chancellor, the consequence would be your termination, the termination of whatever educational program you were involved in would be terminated. They brought shame and disrespect on the university. This is what happens when we get garbage for professors. Bill Ayers, another terrorist, who tried to kill a police officer, set a bomb at a bank to blow a bank up. And he's working in a university, right, again, in Chicago. He's also one of Obama's close friends before he got elected. It's absolutely insane what is going on in this country. It's been going on for years, more so in the last 5 years, while these leftist scumbags push their agenda down our throat. But now that we've got the majority in both houses, now it's time to tighten things up, to start overturning some of the policies put in place by these dirtbags. Time to start impeaching the Attorney General and getting somebody that will actually pursue criminals. How about Jonathan Gruber, one of the architects, one of the authors of Obamacare? He's an economist and MIT professor, Jonathan Gruber. He developed an economic model where they could take a certain set of numbers about people, certain set of numbers about health care, costs, percentages. You plug stuff in and get an answer out the other end. He actually gave an interview at a panel. He was on a panel and was talking to people, and he said the law was intentionally written so that it could not be scored for dollars properly. They hid things. It was done to deceive the people that were scoring the bill and the stupid American voters. Well, the stupid American voters may have been fooled, but the smart ones knew this was a mess to begin with and never should have been passed. And it wasn't voted on by any American voters. It was shoved down our throats by the party that just lost massively. Just lost massively. Oh, what's next? Mitt Romney went ninja on Barack Obama. Obama wrote a letter to Iran's supreme commander this week, talking about wanting to work closely with them. Iran is a terrorist state. They're trying to build a nuclear bomb. They have been playing Obama for years, saying that they're going to dismantle their nuclear facilities while ramping up the construction thereof. They're a state sponsor of terror, and he's talking about working more closely with them. Their mission, their stated mission, not my words, their words, is to wipe out Israel, our ally. And Obama wants to work closely with them. Obama got ripped by Mitt Romney. Who knew this was all going to happen back in 2012? A government report just came out finds rampant nepotism in the Department of Justice. The investigation focused on senior officials at the Executive Office for Immigration Review. It turns out a number of top executives were guilty. 2007 to 2012 alone, 32 students related to employees of the department were hired. At least 7 of the 19 current and temporary members of the board had children working in paid positions. So you get a job and you hire your family, totally leaving out opportunity. And these people were hired not to work for family members, but to work for people in other areas of the Bureau. And totally done without resumes ever being presented. Hey, Bill, would you hire my niece? Would you hire my son? Sure, send them on in. Boom, job. No interviewing. No opportunity for any non-insider to get the job, to get their experience. It's just those that are feeding at the government teat, bringing more of their own family in to suckle at the government teat. Folks, keep your eyes open. The biggest issue of the day is amnesty. Obama has threatened to sign an executive order. He's put out for contract for a company to produce 10 million green cards and 10 million work permits in the next 2 years, and then another 4 million a year for the next 10 years. If he signs this, if it's allowed to go forward, if Congress doesn't find a way to stop it, to defund it, this will be the biggest hurt, the biggest act of destruction on the United States of America in the last 5 years. 10 million new people being allowed to enter the workforce legally, and then to vote. If that's done, this will be the last Republican majority that we will ever see. Folks, again, I appreciate you tuning in. The election was a huge win for the right. It was a huge win for the Christians. It was a huge win for America, but it's just the first step. Keep holding them accountable.